beautiful. Hey everyone, just a massive change of scope at the very last minute. It was going to be very, very different, but it was a big pull to sort of really connect with the energy of a wonderful person who we've all just lost and a great artist. So I love this quote, and I have been reading his quotes all day actually, and what a man. I mean, a man that I didn't really know existed, even though he was part of my childhood in a huge way. And as we all know, we know him for Willy Wonka, and even though I love Johnny Depp, you can't beat Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. So I love this quote. Oh, so my tattoos will look ugly when I'm older. Please tell me more about how great you'll look in 60 years. Hello, nice bikinis. Love Jean. Yeah, me too. So it really resonated with me, this quote this morning when I read it. So I wanted to go into sort of connecting him with dark moon time and introspection, and how important that is just before the phase when we move into new moon, which is a big one, the solar eclipse on Thursday. Jean was amazing, absolutely amazing. Thanks for sharing, for those of you that shared. Isn't it lovely? I know it's, if you have a moment, young Frankenstein, yes. If you have a moment just to type in Gene Wilder quotes and go on Goodreads or somewhere and just have a read through some of his quotes and how amazing his quotes are, you know, and how you know, just how wise he was. And he was born the same year as my dad, which again I didn't know, but also I was reading about him this morning, and he said that he only ever felt really free and authentic when he was on stage, and when he was either on stage or in a movie, and that showed a lot about his true authenticity, and I really got with that. We all have ways of showing our true authenticity, and that was to perform, and most of us would think, shit, performing's terrifying. But you know, that's where he grew, and that's where he felt his energy, and we all know that because we all see that when he performs, and when he was in the movies that he was in, and he was fantastic. Blazing Saddles, absolutely. So, and then before I move on, I just wanted to share this one as well, which will probably resonate with a lot of you, and they're all Willy Wonka faces. So here we go. We have so much time and so little to see. Oh, wait a minute. Strike that, reverse it. So that was really sweet as well. And I kind of was thinking, I wonder how much he saw in his lifetime, in his 83 years of living. So it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, so like I say, just wanted to give some love and, you know, sadness that he's gone, but we're all going to go at some point. So we've got to kind of accept that and go with that energy. So there you go. I was going to do a fairy scope today, and it was all set up and I was ready to talk to you about it. But then I just thought, no, it doesn't feel 100% right for me to do that today. I wanted to show some love to him. Oh, this mortal coil. Yeah, and now he's reunited with his love. Oh, is he okay? You know more than me, my darling. You know more than me. I know he suffered from Alzheimer's, which must be a tremendously difficult way to go, for not only for the person themselves but for the family. And so yes, R.I.P. Not that I really go with that sort of quote or whatever we call it, R.I.P. There's me and my words again, you know. It's like R.I.P. rest in peace. I've not really, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know who he was married to. I didn't know who he was married to at all. It was just, I just wanted to seek him out today and share some of his love. Don't know that much about him. Just know that I loved him as a child and loved his films. And always, because I'm such a fairy tale person, he resonated with me as Willy Wonka. Oh, really? Wow. There's a lot of stuff coming out here. I read that Alzheimer's didn't get his memory of close family. He was married 4 times. Wow. That's a lot. Amazing. Gosh. Or is it a lot, really? Because Elizabeth Taylor was married a lot more, wasn't she? Portal Passion. I've seen you before. What's your name? I've seen you before. Okay, so Steph. Hello. So like I say, I was going to do a totally different scope. Let's close them down a minute. I was going to do a totally different scope today. Just didn't feel it resonated with me. And I was quite quiet on Joel's. Scope today because I had actually mentioned to him that I'd been very pixie-like over the last few days on Joel's scopes. And I felt myself causing trouble So I wanted to step away from that. I felt like I was irritating myself on Joel's scope. So I said to him today, I'm quite pissed off with myself. I've been kind of yabbering on your scopes and being silly, and I'm not doing that today. So like, I'm going to sit back and just show pictures of bikinis. Yeah. It weren't pixie at all. No, not at all. No, we just did it in emojis. So anyway, so let's get into a little bit about Dark Moon. And the reason why, it's nothing too technical here. Got a lot of water, not wine, or vodka. Got a lot of feedback yesterday about my scope. And Rachel, hello if you're watching from New Zealand. I've just connected with a lovely lady called Rachel who watches from New Zealand, who was really interested in the forget-me-not. So let's say hello to Rachel, because she doesn't watch, obviously it's late there now, so she doesn't watch live, but she watches all my replays, and she connected with me yesterday, which was really sweet of her to say, hey, I've been watching your replays for quite a long time now, and I really connected with you. And it's so lovely because you don't know who watches your replays, do you? And she's just sort of shown her face with Silent Moon, and it's just wonderful how the world works, isn't it? Although you're all here, I don't seem to step out. Like, I never see Meredith anymore, and although I miss Meredith, it's like I know she watches now and again. International Rescue Remedy. Yeah, actually, I need to do one at some point when the time is right. So I was saying to Joel today, because Joel and I speak most days, every day actually, that I was feeling that it was really hard to work, and I'm feeling like I can't get motivated at this moment in time. Then of course you sort of sit with what you believe in and who you are and what you do, and come on, we're in Dark Moon time now, so it's okay not to feel like you want to work. You're making me spirits rage. Okay, good, then rage somewhere else. So obviously it's Dark Moon time, so it's always the time not to give yourself a hard time if you're not being productive, because this is not the time to be productive. It's new moon on Thursday, and we've got a solar boom coming up, so really just nurturing yourself, preparing yourself, going inward for that time. So here I acknowledge my shadow and I see my gifts within the darkness. I am peace. And for those of you that take any of the Silent Moon elixirs, then kyanite, which no Collier has just got, so my exhaustion is planetary. It could be, I mean, just connect with it tomorrow and see how you feel. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah, me too. I'm kind of like, can't be bothered. My moon time, feeling a little crazy right now. That's crazy. It's good to be crazy. So kyanite, lapis and black tourmaline, not productive. Kelly, it's good. I'm not productive at all. So it's just like a reminder to say it's okay not to be productive. Like I said yesterday, it's okay to be sad. It's not that I don't want to fill you all with this like negative energy. It's okay to be sad, and it's okay not to be productive, and no energy to do any work at the same time. So we're all feeling it. Most of us, I don't know how Joel's feeling on the male side there. I'm actually more motivated than usual. So that's okay. So testing your moon time and where your moon times are at their best. My cycle's been a pretty crazy over the last 2 months, and it's been really fluctuating. It hasn't been on the times where I've expected it to be, so I'm kind of thinking, am I going through menopause early? I don't know what's going on, so I'm watching it at this moment in time. Few gynae issues going on. What's your option on the current development of sulfate? Right, okay, I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, I'm not talking about that, am I? So the Dark Moon card, I know some of you have got the moon cards, and just get them in order. So if you've got them and they're not in order, then I'll read out the orders to you, so you know exactly every 4 days where to head. I'm usually very unmotivated. So during Dark Moon time, you're motivated, so that's okay. So Dark Moon time, Marion, might be your time for being productive. This is what we were saying about when I did the scope on the 11 moons, that everybody is completely different. So where Dark Moon is kind of officially the time to go inward, it doesn't mean that's the time to go inward for you. So you must work with your own energy. I've had a productive morning, but it's an oasis in the desert of late. Yeah, I know with you, Joel, as well it is. So with your cards here, you've got in order, those who have the cards, just so you've got them in order, it's new moon, crescent moon, and growth moon, and full moon, and bud moon, and harvest moon, and then fruit moon, and then we come on to the last one before new moon, back to the dark moon. How long have we been in dark moon? We've just started, so dark moon is sort of over the last Thursday. What are we on? Tuesday. So yesterday, really. Every phase lasts about 3 to 4 days. Dark moon time is sad time. Well, no, it's not. I wouldn't say it was sad time. It's an introspection time. I certainly don't class my introspection time as my sad time. But as we said yesterday, I'm sad anyway, so what does it make any difference? I can't always tell between my sad time and my happy time, so it's all okay. Thursday is new moon eclipse, absolutely solar eclipse, so it's a big one, new moon in Virgo, so I'll be talking about that and doing a little bit of crafty stuff with you on Thursday. That's when I didn't feel like doing poo. Yeah, shit. Yeah, absolutely. So you're very connected anyway, Melissa, so you know. And actually the cards are on their way to you, so you can work with those. And so just don't worry about it. It's really important that you, if you feel that way, just go inward and connect with that and think, oh, why is it? Why is it? This is why. I'm feeling really, hello, Wendy, how are you doing, my love? I missed that comment before. I'm feeling really unmotivated. I don't feel like moving. I just feel like sitting. I don't feel like going anywhere. I don't feel like working. I don't feel like doing computer work or any of that. There's times, thank you, love you. I love you too. Oops, that was for Kelly. There's unfortunately in this world and in the energy that we all live in, we don't often live in communities. I thought a new moon was Thursday. I guess my cycle was, new moon is on Thursday, my love. Because we don't live usually in environments where we can all really support each other. Let's lie on the couch, to hand over our work to somebody else. And I must admit, Joel is wonderful with me. There was something on my website today. He actually took it off because he was on the back end of my website, and he took it off for me. And it was like, you know, you mean I have to go and get my website open to actually go and do this? But we don't live in communities now, so we can't always pass on our chores to other people. And then when we do, we get told that we have to pay such and such an amount, and nobody will do it for us out of love, And so there are times I'm thinking of going outside and lying on the sun. Absolutely, why not, Kelly? We don't have any sun at the moment, but I would do exactly the same, and did try to do that this morning. I was only thinking today, I used to love being in hospital as you were allowed to stop. Yeah, absolutely. Those are the times when you're made to stop, aren't they? It's like being on a plane. You can't go anywhere. You just have to sit there. And often they're good times to just stop and really reflect. But even now you can get Wi-Fi on planes, which is just crazy. I had 2 days of low energy. Yeah, Sherry, hi Sherry, I didn't see you come in. Yeah. But it also, I don't know what you're taking at the moment as well. So just remember what you're taking. Keep your journal and let's discuss it, because it's always really important to see as well when the elixirs are going whoo like that with you as well, and what's happening within. Yeah, it's like when you get ill or a cold, you're allowed to stop. Yeah, and it is true. I saw the frog. It was beautiful. I know. Was it your prince? Kiss it and see. Is dark moon not the same as new moon? Now I'm confused. Dark moon is a time, well, you know, it's actually true. Some people call dark moon new moon, but there is a difference. There is that sort of change and that shift. I certainly feel that change and that shift, and I created my energy in my cards through the change and the shift between dark moon and new moon, because there's that every 3 days is a huge, you know, shift between the phases. So I really felt that. I really felt the energy change, and the dark moon is a real time of introspection, and then the new moon comes and there's a time of blooming and, you know, filling your boots basically. Yenta, get the cards. They really help you get with the rhythm. Yeah, they're very good, and they help me a lot, and that's what they certainly did today. But as I was saying about community, we can't pass things over. It explains so much to me then. Yeah. I've worked with the moon cycles through my own journey, so I've got to say this. People do say to me, where do you get the information from? What book do you follow? Who do you follow online? I don't follow anybody. I sit with me and I create all my stuff through my own authentic feeling, and that's why I always say go inward and connect with you. If somebody else disagrees with that, that's okay, because that's not how they feel. If somebody else resonates with me with that side of it, then that's good. It was like the horror thing we were talking about yesterday. Cards. Oh, best head over to Silent Moon. Yeah, Moon Spirit cards, my love. 8 cards, £11.95 will take you through the phases of each phase of the moon within the month. Obviously, they're always the same phase, but they change energetically with the energy of the planets. Women especially. Yeah, you're going to see so much more coming with this when Jill and I get our fingers out of our backsides, because we've had a lot of, as you know, we've had a lot going on over the last 2 months between the two of us. But we will be I would say we will be, because he's done so much with me, offering something quite amazing with the moon cycles very, very soon. So... remember that comes from me. It doesn't come from some book that I've read or some website that I've read. I've worked on it, I've sat with it, I've been with it. This feels right for me, so I will create with it. Everything that is on Silent Moon is created by me. It's not by, it's not by somebody else, apart from the candles that I have to say, by our lovely Kimmy, who helped me with the candles. I can't take full... whatever it is, there's my words again. For that, you can all tell me what I mean, because I tell you my words, I'm losing my words, I'm getting like Eckhart. So now I just have to go on to Eckhart just to say I did put that credit. That's it, thanks darling. I'm just with words, and that's part of my introspection thing. That's how much I work with the cycles. You might start to find that during new moon I get better with my words, and full moon I'm starting to shout. But I do go into that space of, okay, I'm tired now, I just want to go inward, I don't want to be motivated, I don't want to do anything. What is this about? We're just talking about dark moon and introspection, Bill and Gene Wilder, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about Eckhart, because I will not take credit for Eckhart's work, because he is absolutely amazing, and he actually liked one of my posts on Instagram the other day, I have to say that. So I was listening, as always, most mornings when I do my yoga practice, I just put a YouTube on with Eckhart, and he's absolutely... he's just a great, great teacher. And I don't follow a guru, but I love Eckhart, because he's not really a guru and doesn't ever want to be in it a guru, and he's got a great energy, and I love him. And I listened to, saying to Joel this morning that thanks for the update, guys. I listened to him this morning. I keep pressing the same YouTube, and I don't know why. And it's about decision making. Every time I still keep pressing the same YouTube. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to just keep listening to this, because there's obviously a message within it that Eckhart is trying to get across to me. So how to know you are succeeding on your spiritual path. So if you want to throw something up there, how do you know if you're succeeding on your spiritual path? And or some of you thinking, what's a spiritual path? Or give some idea of what are you doing that's helping you succeed? How can you monitor that you're succeeding, or are you just going moment by moment? How do you feel? Because and I'll wait actually till you come up with what you say, and then I'll tell you what Eckhart says, because it's quite profound, really, and simple. Everyone is lovely on here, my darling. Everyone is lovely on here. Into Eckhart and spiritual path now. Actually get explaining things. Thanks, guys. Yes, they'll explain to you. I can't always speak and answer questions because I talk too much. Life will have an even flow. Feeling a true inner peace. Yes, love it, Sherry. Love it, Kelly. I actually came here to troll, but everyone seems good. Oh, wonderful. Thanks. Maybe we changed your heart then. We're thick as thieves here. I'm going moment by moment. Wonderful, Melissa. Learning every day. Love the honesty. You actually have. Good. You're welcome then. You're very welcome if you're not coming to troll. But if you do come to troll, we just get rid of you anyway. So it makes no massive difference. But it'd be lovely to have you. Hi, you are cool. Yeah. Right, loved what you said. So Eckhart says, I'll read it in his words. I'm living life by the minute, like it's death. What did I put here? Right, okay. I put the word rising. I can't even read my own words. Rising moments of spaciousness. To what extent is there space in you? So we're going to do this. I thought we'd do this tomorrow at Wild Woman Wednesday meditation at 2:30. Absence of thinking. Now that often triggers people. I can't not think. Okay. So rising moments of spaciousness. What extent is there space in you? So I've got loads of tats. So you really need to sort of connect with the spaciousness that's within you, rather than having to find the guru of your dreams and just feeling. And there's one thing that Eckhart does say, is that when you're in your everyday life is your teacher. Right then, I think more. Yes, exactly. So do I. Absolutely. Oh my God, I'm thinking too much. So being in your everyday life, he advises that you just take moments of spaciousness where you're in the middle of doing something, or you're with the kids, step into that space of feeling your internal being. Watching your experience automatically creates space. Yep. And just feel, and you create those little pockets of spaciousness throughout your life. And he does actually say that you should never have to feel pressured into doing any of this. You just have to step into that space a few times a day, and that is how you get there. You create more space by just stepping one step at a time, even just once today. It's like feeling that feeling of how it feels. You can do it now while I'm talking. You can feel your internal feeling within your palms without feeling the actual physical palms themselves. Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's lovely. And he's been so great for me, because we were talking yesterday about the sadness, and I know Joel with MPA, I'm doing a 30-day MPA practice at the moment with Joel, and it's feeling that feeling of the spaciousness within you. Now, he was talking about Oprah, because I know he's a very good friend of Oprah's, and he actually admits that Oprah is more balanced than he is. Now, we were talking yesterday about, having to be this particular person on scope, or having to show this person that we are on social media to help our business and do this. Even he himself, as the authentic person that he is, admits that, okay, Oprah's more balanced than me. She's got that side of her where she's out there, and 50% of that, and 50% of peacefulness, because she can step into herself and do her job for the planet, and then find that spaciousness. Whereas he admits he's 85% spaciousness. Imagine that. Wow. And the other 25%, right? No, 15%. God, I'm so crap at maths. He does his productive stuff, which he says he's crap at. He can't do anything productive. He's hopeless at that. So if you can just sort of be aware, and tomorrow, to connect with you tomorrow, I'm going to do the meditation on finding that spaciousness that he talks about within. And it is a very simple practice that we can all feel. Wholeness is more balanced than rigid spiritual identity. Absolutely. But I've been through that rigid spiritual identity, and I sometimes do think that we have to go through that rigid spiritual identity to really get to where we need to be. What percentage would you say you are? I think, because I'm a big Moonie, I shift and I change. So at this moment in time, I would say that I'm probably more introspective. So I'm more into myself, into my spaciousness, because that's how I'm feeling. Percentage-wise, I would find that quite difficult to put a percentage on it. But the mind's still going, and the mind's still there, and the mind's still ticking. Can you tell me what I am? No. No. I think it fluctuates. Yeah, I very much fluctuate with the cycles. So sometimes it depends on my energy, my motivation, where I'm going, and if I'm feeling like I'm really motivated, then I'm probably finding less spaciousness within myself. But at the moment, I'm feeling quite spacious. Only you can. Absolutely. Yeah, only you can. You can only know what you are. That's it. Thought you were a psychic or something. Well, aren't we all? We're all psychic. We're all psychic. Okay, so a bit of Gene Wilder, a bit of Eckhart, a bit of me, all mixed together into a magnificent soup of wonderful mess. So there you are. What are you confused about, my love? I am not leaving you confused in hello at the end of Scope. Oh yes, I know that. Crazy sidekick. Come on, Melissa. I shall wait. Welcome, everybody, if you're just joining. A mix of soup, a lovely Scope. Thank you, darling. Yeah. Well, I've just done a bit on him. The psychic sidekick. What's Melissa doing? She must be typing. What's going on? I'm trying to work out what's wrong. Eternal. What do you think about Akashic Records? Oh, that's another story. No, is this about your personalities? Are you talking about Eckhart? No, this is about internal work. So we're talking about, I think you're talking about Eckhart there, right? Is just talking about not your spiritual, not an external, but your spiritualness within you, and how you can check if you're moving on your path, or if you're stagnant, or you're just sort of staying the same, or whatever. You know, how do you check? I mean, yeah, okay. For example, you don't want to do all this spiritual work, right? And then find that you're in the same place in 20 years' time. Okay, good day. So, how are you, my love? So, there's sometimes, in particular, if you go onto his YouTube, if you want to listen to it, it's his YouTube about decision making, which is the one that I keep listening to. So, if you are on a spiritual path and that's where you're going, and yes, we're going to fall off it, and it's okay to fall off it, and you shouldn't get a hard time because you're falling off a path now and again. My segment is hell makes me depressed, radiant and higher. Good. Periscope freezing. Have to embrace it. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Collier, my love, just posted your little box today. So what I'm saying is that what you need to do is you just need to check in with yourself as to how you're doing. So I gave an example of Eckhart's way of dealing with it, and this is how he says you can check by finding how much spaciousness, hello my love, you have within you to check if you are moving on in your spiritual life. Because like I say, I know I've gone around in circles with gurus and realised that I was my own guru, so I didn't need to have that. Oh yes, and just to say, did you get your private scope? I wondered if you did, because I'm not sure it landed with you. I was flowing and growing, and then everything just stopped. Don't know why. So disappointed. That's another scope in itself. Don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed. Yeah, that's really another scope in itself. That's just part of it. You know, because we have this feeling of elation, we get attached to that feeling of elation. Oh, I'm enlightened. Oh, I'm feeling amazing. And we attach to it, and then bang, boom. The lesson comes when we are in our place of disappointment. So don't get, oh God, I've been there so many times. I've followed a lot of gurus to realise I must follow me, absolutely, and that wonderful artwork that you do. That's what you need to follow. Oh gosh, tomorrow it's perfect. That's where your lesson is, within the disappointment. It always happens. It's like saying never sleep. Yeah, I understand now. I'm going to go over my journaling. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Be grateful for the growth experienced. Yes, absolutely. We go through these things where we move fast, and then we stop, and we wonder why we're moving fast, and then we're stopping, and then we get disappointed, and then we get angry with ourselves, and then we go down into depression, and then we do all. It's the ebb and the flow of life. It's the same as the moon cycle. So I've talked enough now. So definitely, absolutely. So I'll be back tomorrow at 2:30, and let's do a meditation on feeling how it feels to feel the spaciousness within Eckhart style. Can't promise to be Eckhart, of course, but I do kind of follow him as my, not going to call him guru because he's not my guru, but I follow him. If I could choose to follow anybody right now, that's who I follow. And I always say that thank you for sharing, Collier. I always say that can shift and change, and don't let anybody tell you that you need to follow one person for the rest of your life, because that's not how it works. We shift and change with the way that we shift and change. I know that I've been taking plant medicine for numerous months at the beginning of this year. Then all of a sudden that shifted. I didn't need to take plant medicine anymore. In fact, I kind of forgot about the plant medicine, and I forgot about the people I was associated with the plant medicine, and that's okay, because that was where I am, and that's where I am right now. So you move on to something else. So a lot of the time with Silent Moon, people have taken stuff, bang, 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 they've gone crazy with stuff, and they've shifted and they've changed so much that they've moved away from what I have to offer them and moved on to something else, and that's how life works. So I don't feel offended when people stop working with me, because that's how life is, and to be honest, that's how it should be. That's how it is. It's like a growth. It's like the onion. Another scope in itself. depends on what you want to talk about there. That is what we want. Absolutely. When people stop working with you, they stop working with you, they move on, they've got what they needed with you, you've layered the onion and you've moved on. I think those changes represent growth. Absolutely they do. And I agree. Right, everybody, I'm nearly 35 minutes, so I need to go now and do some schooly things for my daughter because they're back at school next week. So I need to go and do some shopping. One person you must follow all your life is yourself. What a lovely thing to say. I love that. Absolutely. Gorgeous. My students move on quickly and we share love from a distance. Absolutely. Beautiful. I resonate with that. What we tend to do, I'm just talking again, what we tend to do, so know this in the yoga circle massively. And I don't feel this at all. And maybe in the early days when I started teaching I did, but people are very, very, very jealous when their students go off to another teacher. And I find it quite funny when people leave and move on, or I just think, yes, embrace it, go, fine, absolutely. But because there's so many yoga teachers try and hold their students. The more you try and hold somebody, the more they will kick and scream and they will run. Absolutely. And certainly, and I know this will happen in the States as well, that there's so many yoga studios now, people, grabbing hold of their students, like, you can't move on, and then they get offended because they've moved to another teacher, and it's like, you can't hold people down and you can't control anything in this life. You'll never learn everything you need to know from Mr. the end bit, but I get that. I love referring them on to experts in the unique gifts. Yes, absolutely. Love to all. Thank you, Indra. You're welcome. Right, I'm going now. It's not just with yoga, love. It's with everything. Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it was just an example with yoga because that's the life that I'm in. So I totally get it. When people, I've got my lovely little group, and if they want to move and be free, that's absolutely fine with me. They're a little family and they'd still be a family. So lots of love, everyone. Have a beautiful day. And I will speak to you tomorrow. Meditation time. Bye now.